Hey y'all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking channel. I'm Darren, and today I'm going to do something I've never done before on this channel. I'm going to split this prime Costco brisket right in half and do half of it sous vide Q and half of it regular barbecue. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, and like I said, I've never done this before. I've cooked plenty of briskets on the channel. You can check out the iCard above and see at least one of them. I'll put a couple more throughout the video. But one of the things I'm going to do, this is a Costco Prime brisket, and it's weighing in, before I trim it here, right at about 14 pounds. So it does have some trimming I need to do. A little bit of the decal fat here. I'm not going to trim it a whole lot, but I am going to give it a good, some of that big clumps of fat I'm going to trim off. But I am going to cut this thing right down the middle here, so I have point and flat on both halves. But we are going to do one sous vide Q, which means I got to get it in the bath, and the other half we're going to do regular barbecue, which we're not going to start that till tomorrow. But the sous vide Q one, I got to get started today. I'm going to put it in the bath for 36 hours at 155. We'll take it out tomorrow and throw it on the smoker. Tomorrow morning we'll put the other half on the Big Joe, Kamado Joe Big Joe, so we can cook it up regular barbecue style. But first I got to get this thing out of the package and get it trimmed up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm just going to trim this up very simple. I'm just going to take out some of these big chunks of hard fat that aren't going to render. I'm going to trim it up around the sides and around the back here. I'm going to take off just a little bit of the fat cap on the flat side, and I'm going to take off this flap here that's sitting on top of the point, because usually it doesn't cook very well. But I'm just going to leave just about 1/4 of an inch or so on the back of the fat cap, and that's it. I'll be right back. All right, I just kind of want to show you. I got this trimmed up as much as I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm not doing an overly trimmed brisket. I did trim some of the big chunks of the decal off, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight right down the middle with this. So it's going to be pretty much, you know, I'm going to get as much of the point and the flat even as possible. There's probably going to be just a little bit more on this side because it sticks out a little bit more and you got more of that fat cap that goes underneath. But I'm going to just kind of get as even as possible here, and I'm just going to cut it right down the middle. Just kind of follow that edge all the way out, and we're going to split it up. I'm going to season it today with Meat Church's Holy Cow. So I've never used this rub before, especially on a brisket. Normally on a brisket I just use salt and pepper, but I figure since I'm trying something new with the test, I'll try something new with the rub. And I bought this a while back and never was able to, I haven't used it yet, so figured today should be the good day. All right, there you go. Had it cut right in half. Like I said, this one is kind of on the bigger side, so I think I'm going to use this one as the one I'm going to smoke only, because it gives it a little bit more volume, a little bit more of that fat cap here to protect it while it's smoking. And I'll use the little bit lighter one just in the sous vide bath. So, all right, I'll get these seasoned up and be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to get these halves all seasoned up. But first of all, I don't have to use the expandable bags because I did cut this brisket in half. I am going to vacuum seal both of them, so I am going to let the barbecue only one actually sit in the seasoning and do a little dry brine while the other one is in the sous vide bath. So I'm just going to put a nice even coat on both of these, season them up pretty much the same way, and then when the sous vide Q one comes out of the bag, I'll put a little bit more of the seasoning on it, and I'll also probably do the same thing with the barbecue one, because I'm sure some of the rub will kind of come off and grind into the meat. So I'm going to get these all seasoned up, get them vacuum sealed, and I'll see you back in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. The brisket that's being sous vide queued, it's got about 6 hours or so left before it's done in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the smoked only one on now. It's about almost 10 o'clock or so. So I want this to be on there for a good bit of time. So I'm going to do it at 250. I'm getting ready to use the Kamado Joe Big Joe, and I'm going to use the IKamand temp controller today. And I use it with my iPad so that I can keep the smoker right at 250 degrees. I'm going to monitor the meat temp and all that with the meat probe. But first I got to get this out of the pack. Then we're going to throw this right on the Kamado Joe Big Joe. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to get my fire going, and as soon as the fire starters are out, I'm going to go ahead and let the IKamand kick it up to the temperature I want. I do have my oak wood deep into some of the charcoal, so I've got plenty of oak wood in there to have a nice smoke for the fire. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit brisket, and it's telling me it's going to use the temperature at 250, and it's giving me 195 for that temp, but I'm going to go ahead and do 203 for the meat temp, just because that's kind of where I want it to be. I'm going to pick food probe number 1. So when I start monitoring the food, I'll use that probe. Start the IKamand. I'm going to allow notifications. And let's go ahead and start kicking the fan on. You can hear that. And it gave me a green light on the IKamand itself, so that means it's blowing to the fire, and it's going to get that fire stoked up to 250 degrees and keep it there. So as soon as that's ready, I'm going to throw the brisket on. So I will be back. All right, as you can tell from the IKamand, it's right at 252, so it usually overshoots just a little bit, and then it'll stabilize back down, because all it is a fan trying to control the heat of the charcoal and the wood. So it will overshoot. It'll kind of fluctuate by a couple degrees here and there, but it did shut the fan off. So it is at 252, smoke's rolling pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and throw my brisket on, stick the food probe in, and then I'll be back when we're going to throw the sous vide only one on. I don't normally wrap my briskets, so you're not going to see me wrap this one at all. I'm just going to put this on, let it roll until the sous vide Q1 goes on, and I will be back, guys. All right, the smoked barbecued brisket is actually just now pushing past the stall. It's like a 168, 169 right now. I just pulled the sous vide Q1 out of the sous vide bath, and I'm going to stick it in an ice bath to chill it down. Then we're going to toss it. We got to put a little bit more rub on it. Then we're going to toss it on the Kamado Joe with the other one. So let me get this in the bath, and I'll be right back. I'll do it right now. It's been out. Just got it out of the ice bath, out of the bag. I left it wet, didn't pat it dry, because opposite of searing a steak when we're smoking, we want that moisture that's on the meat to absorb some of that smoke and make a nice bark. So as you can see, doesn't look that good right now, but I am going to put just a little bit more of this Meat Church's Holy Cow. I was going to say, yeah, it's not the Holy Gospel, but the Holy Cow, which is their beef rub. So I'm just going to put a nice little bit more of a coat on this nice wet hunk of brisket. Not a ton, just enough to take away or add some of that was washed off in the sous vide bath. And then I'm just going to go stick this right on the grill right next to the other one. I'll be back. All right, guys, it's time to get the sous vide cube brisket on the smoker with the barbecued one. And I always spritz both my regular and sous vide cube smoked meats, just because it helps the smoke adhere to the meat. I do that every 30-40 minutes or so. Does look like I got a little bit of crispy bottom on both of these, because I did crank the heat up some and I did not flip them. So I got a crispy bottom on both of them, a little bit more on just the barbecue one. But they both look great, and I'm going to take them off and slice them up. All right, guys, they're done. As you can see, they're all ready to go. Both of them got a decent bark. This one here is a little bit more darker than this one here. As you can tell, this one's has a little bit more of the point to it. When I cut it in half, it made it so I had a little bit more meat to it. I had my son Spencer come over here and do the blind taste test here. There, take that piece. Yeah, that's from the bottom, from the grill.
I definitely like this one better.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely this one.
Why is that?
More flavor to it, I feel like.
This one's definitely got that
That
bottom.
one's good too. The first piece that I got wasn't that good.
Yeah, I think both of them, the bottom got a little bit crunchy because
That
of
one's good
the smoker. So I'm gonna cut that crunchy piece off. I'm gonna get a piece of this one too. I'm gonna cut a piece of the point. How that piece?
That's real good right there.
I'm gonna have that one. That top piece, that's where the burnt ends come from.
Very good.
A piece of that too. Does either one of them taste any more smoky than the other one?
No, not really. Not particularly. If one of them, I'd probably say that one tastes more smoky. But I prefer this one.
Well, there you have it, guys. Either way, you're going to do great cooking a brisket. So this way, you just have a lot less fuss. Throw it in the sous vide for 36 hours. Take it out, throw it on for 2 or 3 hours on the smoker, and you're done. This one, have to babysit the smoker for 10 hours. So try it yourself. We're going to go have dinner now. Thanks for joining. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you follow the Fire and Water Cooking Podcast wherever you get podcasts, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again.